Bonjour tout le monde et bienvenue à Learn French by Suchita. Je m'appelle Suchita, votre enseignante de la langue française et dans cette vidéo, on va apprendre les verbes CER.
Before we begin with this video, I would like to introduce you to my website www.learnfrenchbysuchita.com, where you will find recorded courses for all your French language needs. We have courses for DELF A1, DELF A2, DELF B1, TEF TCF recorded course, French phonetics as well. We have special courses for our school students ranging from grade 5 to grade 8. We also have courses for university students who are enrolled in certificate course or diploma course in Delhi University. And finally, we also have courses for our school students who are aiming to appear for their DELF Prem or DELF Junior examinations. So hurry up and check it out.
So without any further ado, let's get into the video. And in this video, we are going to learn the conjugation of CER verbs in present tense. Okay. Now, before we begin with this, I would like to tell you there are three categories of verbs in French. First category, group 1 verbs, that is regular ER verbs. Group 2, regular IR verbs. Group 3, regular RE verbs and all the irregular verbs. Okay, all the major irregular verbs come also under the category of group 3. Now, here you have CER verbs. Since they belong to the category of ER verbs only, it is a subcategory of ER verbs. But it is not a very major exception, very minor exception that we have over here. So it is counted in group 1 verb only, kind of regular verb only. Okay, and we are going to learn in today's video how do you conjugate them in present tense and what is the irregularity over here. Okay, now few examples I have written in front of you for CER verbs. And why are they called as CER verbs? Because their infinitive forms end with CER, and that is why they are known as CER verbs. Now, the first one, commencer. Now see, it ends with CER. Commencer, to start, to commence, to begin. Remplacer, again CER, to replace. Effacer, to erase, to rub. Annoncer, to announce. Déplacer, to move or to displace something. Placer, to place. These are just few CER verbs that I've written. You have many more CER verbs. Okay. Now, commencer, remplacer, effacer, annoncer, déplacer, placer. Okay, so the first verb that we are going to look here is commencer. Commencer, which means to start, to begin, to commence. Okay. Now, we'll divide our table into two parts, singulier et pluriel, and we are going to write all the subjects. Je, tu, il, elle, on, nous, vous, il pluriel et elle pluriel. If you do not know what are subject pronouns, I'm dropping the link in the card above. You can watch that video first and then come back here again. Okay, so we write all our subjects, je, tu, il, elle, on, nous, vous, il et elle. Okay. Now, it is CER verb. That doesn't mean that you have to cut CER. Okay. The golden rule that we used to apply in ER verbs, that is going to be the foundation of this verb as well. CER verbs as well. By the way, I have explained how do you conjugate ER verbs. If you do not know how do you conjugate the basic ER verbs, I'm again dropping the link in the card above. You can watch that video. But I'm doing a basic revision over here. So how do you conjugate the ER verbs? In ER verbs, you cut ER. You have to cut ER. Whatever is left is your radical. That you write in all the subjects. And then you write certain terminaisons, certain endings. So endings are E, ES, ONS, OZ, ONT, ONT. That I'm talking about the normal ER verbs. Okay. So E, ES, E, ONS, EZ, ENT, ENT. That you apply in the normal ER verbs. Now, since it is CER verb, that doesn't mean that you have to cut CER. No. You have to still cut ER only. So if you cut ER, you are left with C-O-M-M-O-N-C. Okay. That you will write in all the cases. So till here you will write. So till here you have your radical. C'est votre radical. Alors, so this you will write in all the cases. Okay? Now followed by terminaison. Now what are the endings? Endings are e, os, e, ons, oz, ont, ont. Now you must be thinking that it is a normal, it looks like a normal ER verb only. So why we are doing it as a special category of ER verbs, which is CER verbs. So the exception lies in case of nu. In all other cases, it will go exactly like ER verbs. The exception lies in the case of nu. Now what happens in case of nu? This is right now incorrectly written. The correction over here is you need to put this accent cd in case of CER verbs, in all the CER verbs. By the way, if you do not know what is the use of this accent, I am dropping the link in the card above for the video that I uploaded for the usage of the accent cd. You can watch that video and then come back here again. Okay, also I am doing a small revision with you. I'll just do it. Now comes the pronunciation. So, je commence, tu commences, il commence, elle commence, on commence, nous commençons, vous commencez, il commence et elle commence. Je répète, je commence, tu commences, il commence, elle commence, on commence, nous commençons, vous commencez, il commence et elle commence. In case of verbs, if you have ENT at the end, you don't pronounce that. It is not il commençant, it is il commence. Okay. Now, what is the use of this accent then? Okay. That comes from the rule of phonetics now. C has both the pronunciation k and s. So it can be pronounced as k, it can be pronounced as s, depending upon which vowel do you have after C. Now what are the options? You can have CA, CE, CI, CO, CU. In this case, in the first, fourth and the fifth case, CA, CO, CU. The pronunciation of C is K. And if after C you have either E or I, then the pronunciation of C is S. That is the rule. You have to remember that. So CA is Ka, CE, S, CI, C, CO, Ko, CO, Q. Okay. Now accent CD is used to change the sound of C from K to S. That means if you do not want to pronounce this as Ka, you want to make it as Sa, then you apply this accent. So now it becomes Sa. This is Ka, Sa. This is already Sa, so you do not need to apply this accent. This is already C, you do not need to apply the accent. This is Ko. If you want to make it So, then you will apply this accent. This is Q. If you want to make it Su, then you will apply this accent. Okay. Now, if you do not still understand, I had just dropped the link in the card above. You can watch that video. There I have explained the same concept in a more detailed manner and with certain examples. This was just a recapitulation that I did. Now, why did I apply the accent only in the case of nu? See, in all other cases, if you see, after C, you already have a E. So, E, 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 E. Here also you have E, E, E. Okay. So, if after C you have E, then the sound is already S. That means you do not need to apply the accent. Je commence, tu commences, il, elle, on commence, vous commencez, il commence et elle commence. The problem is only over here because here after C you have O. So, if you do not apply the accent, the pronunciation would be nous commençons. However, we do not want it to be pronounced as nous commençons. It is nous commençons. So, for changing from sound from nous commençons to nous commençons, you apply this accent. Okay, so this problem will occur in all the CER verbs. Therefore, in all the CER verbs, you will follow this rule that in case of nous, you will apply accent cédit for the letter C. Okay. Now, the meaning in English, as you already know, the present tense is simple present tense also and present continuous tense also. So, je commence, I start or I am starting. Tu commences, you start or you are starting. Il commence, he starts or he is starting, or it can also mean it starts or it is starting. Elle commence, she starts, she is starting, or it can also mean it starts or it is starting. On commence, one starts or one is starting, or it can mean we start or we are starting. Nous commençons, we start or we are starting. Vous commencez, you start or you are starting. Ils commencent, they start or they are starting. And elle commence. Oops, I'm sorry, I have written by mistake il. It should actually be elle. Elle commence, which means they start or they are starting. So il, that's masculine plural, and elle, that's feminine plural. Just make the correction. I wrote il by mistake, it has to be elle. Okay, the next verb that we are going to do is remplacer. Remplacer, which means to replace. Again, it is a CER verb. Now, what do you have to do? The same rule we are going to apply. You need to cut ER. It is a CER verb. That doesn't mean that you have to cut CER. You will cut ER. Whatever is your radical, REMPLAC, this is your radical, you will write with all the subjects. So, with je, tu, il, elle, on, nous, vous, il pluriel et elle pluriel, you will write with all the subjects, this radical, along with the endings. So, the endings are ES, ONS, EZ, ENT, ENT. Now, the rule is, in case of nous, in case of CER verbs, the C will take accent cédit. Okay? Pronunciation. Je remplace, tu remplaces, il remplace, elle remplace, on remplace. Nous remplaçons. If I do not put this accent, the pronunciation would be nous remplaçons, which is incorrect. You pronounce it as nous remplaçons. Vous remplacez, il remplace et elle remplace. Je remplace, tu remplaces, il, elle, on remplace. Nous remplaçons, vous remplacez, il remplace et elle remplace. Which means I replace or I am replacing. You replace, you are replacing. He replaces, he is replacing, and likewise. Why don't you conjugate any CER verb and mention in the comment section below? I'm going to check it out. If you like this video, do not forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and for daily updates and reminders, do not forget to hit the bell icon. And I'll see you very soon with the next video. Till then, au revoir, à bientôt et bisous bisous.